Uh-oh. I think we're going live. I hope this is all working. This is the first time playing around with all this stuff and getting it figured out. So hopefully, we've got this up and rocking and rolling and all things functioning. So, for those who do not know me, I'm Donnie Bovine, and I'm the host of a podcast called Success Champions. I do a lot of motivational speaking. I do a lot of speaking on podcast. Do a lot of speaking on business development. I run a couple of Facebook groups. And, my entire goal in life is just to help people get out of their own way so they can go do the things they've been wanting to do in their entire life. So, um, this is kind of fun. I just got accepted into the LinkedIn Live to do the live streams. I go live all the time in my Facebook group, so this is going to be brand new doing this here. I'm also trying the Restream plugin to go live on multiple platforms and have a lot of fun figuring this all out because this is definitely a lot of technology for a guy like me to figure all out. So, but I'll quit rambling and jump into it. So I have a cool theory that I've been thrashing around in my head for quite a while, and it's this whole idea that confidence isn't a real thing. I truly believe that you don't lack confidence, you just lack experience. And here's what I mean is as you're going through your life, right? You are um, uh, trying to do different things and experiencing different things and trying to get everything to function and work in your life and in your business. And there's a lot of times people will come up to me and they say, Donnie, I just don't feel confident about this, or I don't feel confident about doing that task. And, what I've realized over the years, and partially I learned this when I, was really heavy in the sales game, is it's not the confidence that you lack. You just haven't done that task enough, right? So you haven't had enough experience in doing that thing to be able to really double down on getting comfortable with that activity, right? So it's not the matter. The not. I mean, it's not the thing that you lack confidence. Is you just haven't done that task. And I'll go back and we'll bring it into sales. Let's say something like cold calling, right? Most people in the world hate cold calling. There are a few rare breeds that absolutely love cold calling, but most people hate it. And the reason most people hate it is because they flat out haven't done it enough. And it's not lack of confidence in doing that activity, it's the fear of the rejection and getting shut down and all of that kind of stuff that is hurting them more than anything else, right? So back when I did a lot of cold call training, which I haven't done in God knows how long, but a lot of cold call training, one of the things that I would do to help people get over their fear was literally I would jump on and do live dials, in front of a room full of people because I wanted to show them that a crazy guy like me is willing to jump in front of a room and do live dials. And literally, I just put the phone on speakerphone and I'd start making calls. And two things would happen inevitably. First, the one side of it would look at me like I was crazy, almost like this weird Superman thing, because I was crazy enough to stand in front of a room and do cold calls. But then there was the other side of things that were trying to listen more tactically to what I was trying to do. So so in doing that, I kind of gave everybody this moment of courage to try, and then we'd spread the rooms out all throughout the building, and they'd start doing calls. And I got these different people at different times that were struggling with these calls, and a lot of times I would just sit down with them and say, "Okay, let's call." And it was amazing that if I sat by them, the calls would go smoother and everything else, and they would start making more dials. So it wasn't that they lacked confidence in the moment of doing that thing. It was 100% that they just didn't have enough dials under their belt, right? And this works with pretty much everything. I mean, I've seen some of the biggest introverts in the world be some of the strongest connectors and networkers out there. I mean, I've seen people that if you knew them at their core, they flat out could not um, uh, physically get themselves to walk out and tell somebody hello and hi. But you put them in a sales role and tell them that's their job, they start figuring it out, because otherwise they lose said job, right? So I mean, I know one gal that would tell you almost every event she went to from a networking perspective, she would go puke, right? As soon as she got there, because she was so worked up about being around all these people. But she would go out, she'd do her thing, she'd collect her business cards, she would do all the things she needed to do, and then she'd go home and just be plumb exhausted. But that was where her job was, being in the sales game and meeting people. And it got to the point to where, she could go to the groups, say hi. She knew she'd find a couple of people that she would know was there, so she could get the rhythm and everything going. And man, once she got enough repetitions in, enough experiences in a networking game, she got around this whole idea of confidence. She got around this whole idea of, could she really do this? And what's funny to me is, in watching her, work the rooms and everything else, she got really damn good. I mean, she grew a tremendous amount of business by literally um, networking. And trust me, this gal was a flat out introvert. And so I think if you would have talked to her, especially at the very beginning, she would have said she lacked confidence and she was an introvert. She didn't want to go do all this networking stuff. But as she got later in her career and she got enough experience and repetitions in, things became a lot easier for her and she was able to move forward. So, it's similar to riding a bike, man. A lot of us, as we've gotten older, haven't sat on a bike in a long time. But I guarantee if you jump back on, as long as you learned how to ride as a kid, that first time as a kid, you lack tremendous amount of experience riding that bike, but even now you can jump on and be just fine. So, I just wanted to try out, make sure all this stuff was working, and see what's what with all these technologies, all these processes. It's kind of fun. It looks like I got Facebook going right now, YouTube going, Twitch is going, LinkedIn is still trying to figure it out, but this is just the first time I've gotten, on there. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this. I'm going to keep playing with stuff so I can figure out how to interact with comments and conversations and get better at doing this stuff. Technology is definitely not my strongest suit. I'd rather just flap my gums and talk all the time, but thanks for tuning in with this, and love your feedback on how the video quality looks, how the audio, looks with all this, and then I will be working on how do I, get more of the conversations and stuff going, man. Appreciate you guys. Keep rocking. Go big and loud. And if you haven't, dude, come join the Success Champions group. We got all kinds of really cool stuff there. Talk soon, guys. Later.